Live from downtown Spokane, this is 4 News Now, Special Edition.
The Cougs took on Oregon State this afternoon in Pullman. Both teams standing united in their feelings of conference realignment. But on the field tonight, it was all business. Both teams with a lot to prove in tonight's game. And the Cougs took care of business at home. Thanks for joining us here on a special edition of 4 News Now. I'm Jordan Smith. Right away, we'll go straight to our sports director, Julian Minensone, who's live in Pullman. And Julian, the Cougs offense starting to click here tonight. A major win over a top 25 team. What went right out there for the Cougs?
Well, Jordan, good evening. Yeah, the Cougs offense, it was unbelievable. Their best performance of the season thus far. Quarterback Cameron Ward had 404 total yards through the air. That's huge against an Oregon State team that likes to score the ball. You got to match that. He had 4 touchdowns in this game, did Ward. 3 of them going to wide receiver Josh Kelly, who is one of the newer wide receivers on this team, transferred from Fresno State into this year. And they were just electric on offense. Now, defensively, it was a little bit of a struggle. It wasn't perfect, but they withstood every single Oregon State punch, up to a 21-3 deficit, or outscored at the fourth quarter 21-3. Oregon State knocked them back, but the Cougs didn't fall and ultimately come out with a victory here in this one today. A huge win, especially now that Washington State is going to go into a bye week, get a lot of rest, and then gear up for another tough matchup on the road against UCLA. But you have to think that the Cougars now are going to climb in that top 25. They're number 21 heading into this game, and probably higher now when the polls come out next week. Jordan?
Julian, there's no easy wins here in the Pac-12, especially this year. What does this game mean for the big picture?
Well, Jordan, in the world of conference realignment, where it seems that college football has lost all its charm, I mean, look no further than Pullman, Washington. This is the second time that the Cougars have sold out a game here. Second time they've been on the national stage. Second time they've played against the top 25 team, and the second time they've beat them, and Cougs fans stormed the field after a victory. You know, WSU and OSU are two teams that are kind of in the same boat, looking for a life raft, a new conference home, and the future remains uncertain for both schools. But to have some sort of innocence, some sort of life left in college football, in a college football world that's controlled by the almighty dollar, at least here in Pullman, Washington, the innocence of the sport remains true. You think about everything leading into this game, how both schools had both athletic directors, they had both presidents come on a Zoom to talk about the state of everything in the Pac-12, and they don't really have a ton of answers. So for Washington State and Oregon State to come out here today, put up a close game, a high-scoring game on a national stage, it looms huge for both programs moving forward, no matter who won or lost this game today. A huge game and a huge statement for the Cougars moving forward, Jordan.
Absolutely, Julian. Thanks so much for checking in with us. We'll check back with you guys later on in the show tonight. Certainly a statement win for the Cougs here tonight at home against Oregon State. We'll transition now. Football season usually means fall is around the corner, and it's definitely beginning to take shape and feel like fall here in the Inland Northwest. Meteorologist Matt Gray joins us now with your forecast. And Matt, when should we get ready with those umbrellas?
Oh, well, you're going to need them. It's just going to be a little while longer before you do. We had some beautiful weather today, but you saw those clouds roll in as the evening progressed. And we are right on the cusp, right on the edge of a rather big storm system that is off of the Pacific coast, bringing rain, as you can see behind me here, to western Washington and western Oregon, and trying to push across the mountains. But at least for tonight, the old rain shadow is going to win out. Now, you can see still seeing some returns on radar over places like Yakima into the Vantage area, up to Ephrata and the Waterville Plateau. However, according to all the local weather stations, we are not seeing rain falling from the sky. Still, can't outrule maybe there's a sprinkle or two, but obviously nothing that's going to make a big difference in the rain gauge, which certainly is always welcome at this point in the year. Now, as some of that moisture continues to track to the east, we'll have a small chance for 1 or 2 little sprinkles as we head later into tonight around Spokane and around Coeur d'Alene, with our lows bottoming out at around 50 degrees. Coming up, I'll show you when that wet weather does push its way across the mountains and what you should be ready for in the week ahead. Coming up.
All right, Matt, thanks so much for that. In the recovery after the devastating wildfires that ripped through Medical Lake, many community members gathered today at a memorial service to remember 86-year-old Carl Grube. who lost his life in the Gray Fire last month. Grube leaves behind a legacy, one he built serving his community. Our Peter Choi was at that service today. He joins us with the stories that were shared and the type of person this community said goodbye to.
Many hugs and prayers filled the Medical Lake High School this morning to honor the legacy that Carl Grube left behind, especially his passions for helping youth as well as agriculture.
One by one finding their seats, all here to celebrate the life that they will never forget.
Rest in peace, Carl D. Grube, 4/01/1937 to 8/18/2023.
Born and raised in Medical Lake, Carl Grube was co-founder of the Jensen Memorial Youth Ranch.
Community Ranch, a 501c3 nonprofit organization idea where students could have the opportunity to raise livestock and have facilities and resources and get a chance that they wouldn't otherwise have to experience livestock projects.
For decades, Grube's goal was to simply make kids happy through agriculture.
You can see it in his eyes when you go to the ranch and see kids working with their critters. There's a sparkle in his eye, something that brought joy to his life.
People who crossed paths with Grube shared their favorite memories of him.
When it comes to family, when it comes to community, there's not a more humble, kind man that I've ever met. We're very blessed to be in this community because there's incredible people in this community. Whenever there was a work day organized at the farm, you could be sure that Carl would show up with donuts and coffee at break time. And he always had food for lunch. He was very thoughtful.
Asking the public to continue the support for what he loved the most.
You have the opportunity in any aspect of your life to continue to help promote youth and agriculture. Do so moving forward, because when you do that, you're honoring Carl.
Now, after the service, people told me the world needs more people like Carl, a special member of the community who will be missed. In studio tonight, Peter Choi, 4 News Now.
A legacy that'll live on for years to come. Peter, thanks so much for that. And the people who lost everything in this fire want to rebuild, but it isn't that simple. There's asbestos testing, debris cleanup, permits, research on financial help, so much more. The Spokane Salvation Army is in the process of hiring caseworkers to help connect wildfire survivors to the resources available to them.
Individuals impacted, they come and they tell their story one time. They tell their story one time to our case manager, who then goes out and advocates for them. And the case manager's job is to find the resources available and to connect them, so that they don't have to go around and continue telling their story and reliving the trauma over and over again.
Since the Salvation Army is still hiring caseworkers, it still could be a few weeks before people get connected with one. Once hired, they will be assigned to both the Gray and Oregon Road fires. People who live in Spokane's East Central neighborhood welcomed a new community mural today, located on East 5th at the Carl Maxey Center. It's meant to celebrate the past, present, and future hopes and dreams of the many people who make the East Central neighborhood such a special place. Partnering with a local arts organization, Terrain, the center's operation manager, Jalissa Winkler, says that the mural is to represent diversity and to celebrate many dedicated members of the East Central neighborhood.
My favorite part is seeing some of the elders, some of the people that I grew up looking up to, people like Sandy, and kind of just having that reminder that you can be a legacy in your neighborhood.
The mural is interactive. If you download the Artivibe app, and hold it to the face of a person outlined in yellow on the mural, you'll get to hear that person's story. 20 Black community members, or leaders rather, are featured along with their story as a part of this mural. A ribbon cutting ceremony was held at the center with food and music after the mural was officially revealed. We now know the name of the man who stabbed his co-worker at a Fred Meyer in North Spokane on Thursday. Police say 35-year-old Daniel Silva attacked his co-worker with a handsaw. When police arrived, Silva appeared to be unarmed. When police searched Silva, they found that he had a box cutter on him. He now faces multiple charges, including 2 counts of assault. Spokane Public Schools is looking to hire more crossing guards. The district says they need about 20 more guards to be fully staffed, helping the students navigate traffic facing cars that are going faster than they should. Dan Johnson, the campus safety specialist for Spokane Public Schools, says the district needs them. Otherwise, teachers and administrators need to be pulled away to fill that need.
I'm going to come out here and do my best. I mean, albeit that it's not what I normally do, but like I said, the safety of the kids is the most important thing. So that's what we have to do.
SPS recommends going into your local neighborhood school's office if you're interested in applying. There is a state-required fingerprinting if you apply, but the district does say that they are looking into the possibility of waiving that fee in the future. Well, still to come here on 4 News Now, much of the Seattle community still outraged at a body cam video that took the nation by storm. The status of a police officer who made fun of a woman's death who was fatally struck by a police car. Coming up. Plus, Fall Fest kicks off this weekend. We take you to Beck's Harvest House with what you can expect.
And with fall comes showers. We're going to be tracking a lot of wet weather as we head over the next few days. I'll show you when you should be ready to pull out the raincoats in your first alert forecast coming up.
Four News Now on your time with Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
4 News Now is brought to you by Pape Machinery.
At 4 News Now, we believe you should expect more from local news. Our team is committed to a community conversation and bringing you information you need when and where you need it. Numerica believes in and supports that mission.
There are many different ways that Numerica gives back. Financial education is my way of giving back to the community by being able to help members in branch and getting the opportunity to go out into schools and teach kids about how to put themselves in a better position financially.
Dear 2030, we look forward to seeing you. After our 160-point quality assurance inspection, we'll be Toyota certified used vehicles with 7-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranties. Not to honk our own horns, but the best new cars make the best used cars. Yours, Toyota. Get 5.49% APR for up to 60 months on your favorite Toyota certified used models. Find yours at toyotacertified.com. Toyota, let's go places.
From the very beginning, we've been taught safety is very important. It's an act of love. When we're on the road, every action we take gets everyone to a safer place. Each of us can make a difference. Slow down. Ride sober. Get endorsed. Get training. Alone we are strong. Together we are stronger. And together we get there.
It's an end-of-year September yard sale for 4 days only at Northwest Fence in the Spokane Valley, where you can get the biggest savings as Northwest Fence cleans up the yard and sells off all overstocked and leftover materials from summer jobs at deep discounts. So you can finish or repair those summer projects at closeout prices going into the winter. It's the one sale our regular customers wait all year for this Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at Northwest Fence.
It doesn't matter how you say it, as long as you say it often. Praise your child at least 4 times for every time you correct them, and you'll be on your way to raising a confident, caring kid. 4-to-1 Praise is just one of the many parenting tools from the experts at Boys Town. Visit boystown.org/praise to receive your 10 Ways to Praise magnet. It's a great reminder to keep it positive, and that helpful parenting advice is just a click away.
Those cooler temperatures are ushering in those beautiful fall colors and those fun fall festivities. This weekend, one of Spokane's largest fall celebrations kicks off on Green Bluff. Our Natalie Grant has what you need to know.
Air is crisp and it smells like pumpkin donuts. And that can only mean one thing. Fall is here. And at Beck's Harvest House on Green Bluff, they're gearing up for their annual fall festivities that kick off this weekend.
Corn mazes, apple picking, and of course, pumpkin donuts will be in full swing at Beck's Harvest House for the next 6 weekends. But on Friday, people were already out and about taking in the nice fall weather. Todd Beck, owner of the Harvest House, says over their 36 years of operation, they have become a fall staple for so many families and is looking forward to ushering in the start of another season.
You know, some people have, balloons that they do every year, or pig out in the park they do every year, or going to see Santa at River Park Square every year as a family. They have their traditions. Coming to Harvest House is a lot of people's family tradition for every fall, and it's great to be part of everyone's family.
Beck says there will be fall-themed games for the kids, live music, and plenty of good food to go around. Fall Festival goes until October 29th. Now, if you're heading up to Green Bluff this weekend, people here at Beck's tell me it's a good idea to reserve your parking and your tickets online before coming up because things can fill up pretty quickly. Reporting in Green Bluff, Natalie Grant, 4 News Now.
Oh, and the leaves are on track to change color on time this year because we really didn't have one last year. Your fall leaf forecast, by the way, right now on KXLY.com. Give it a search. Cooler weather for Sunday than what we saw today. We did get up into the 70s very briefly today. Not expecting a lot of 70s tomorrow. More clouds and sunshine and even 1 or 2 drops of rain. Not expecting a lot here, but there is a wet period coming up later in this new week that will start tomorrow. So planning out your day for tomorrow, you could leave the raincoat and the rain boots at home. Definitely in the pants and long sleeve territory, however, with cloudy skies, blocking out the sun so it'll feel even cooler than it will be. We'll start off pretty mild in the 50s and only push our way up into the middle and upper 60s around the region. And this is going to be something that we see for quite a while. The clouds and the cooler temperatures and eventually some rain along for the ride. There is a big storm that's pulling itself together, and it's gradually going to wiggle its way our direction, and that's going to push some more cool air and some more moisture by the time we get into the middle of the week. So we're looking at the peak time for wet weather to be Tuesday and into Wednesday of this upcoming week, because not only do we get kind of our first wave that pushes across the mountains with a strong push on Tuesday, but also then the whole thing begins to move inland Wednesday and later, which means it gets even cooler and we continue to have those chances for rain. As for tomorrow, you might feel 1 or 2 drops of rain in the morning around Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. Then we look at some light mountain showers, as you can see here in this image, as we get into the afternoon in our northern counties. We have another opportunity for just, once again, some very, very light rain in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. 1 or 2 drips and drops as we approach midnight here on Monday, and a little bit higher chances in central Washington to start see the rain begin to push its way across the mountains. And so, in fact, our rain chances for Monday, basically from Ritzville, you can draw a line here, Ritzville to Lake Roosevelt, and everywhere west of that, actually pretty high rain chances for Monday, but everywhere to the east of that line, it's going to be a fairly dry day, and we'll be waiting until Tuesday when this weather continues to push a little bit further to the east. And so for the Spokane and Coeur d'Alene area, 20% chance for the next couple of days, and then things will push up as we head into Tuesday and into Wednesday. Certainly not the 2-3 inches of rain they're going to see on the other side of the mountains here, but hey, this is a good amount of rain, especially in North Idaho, where we've been working on a big rain deficit for over a year at this point. So this is some great looking stuff. Certainly, though, you will want to have that raincoat handy in the week ahead. It's going to impact you as you go about your activities here in this last week of September. For tomorrow, our highs in the middle and upper 60s. We'll see some isolated 70s, places like the LC Valley. And then look, this rain chance just keeps going. Our highs only in the 50s. You think it feels like fall now. It is really going to feel like a crisp fall day by the time we get to next weekend.
Time to dust off those hoodies, Matt. Thanks so much for that. Well, hey, check this out. Our very own Mark Peterson was honored this evening with the Dream Builders Award by the nonprofit Building Dreams at their fundraiser this evening. The award recognizes an individual who has a proven commitment to serving the most vulnerable in our community. Mark certainly exemplifies that. Congratulations to you, Mark. Well deserved. Well, body cam footage in Seattle shows a Seattle police officer downplaying the value of a woman's life. She's dead because another officer killed her. Now the community is outraged, as Ryan Sims reports.
$11,000. She was 26 anyway. She had limited value.
More than a week after this shocking video was released, people's anger and disappointment are unwavering and unmistakable.
I'm a brown person. Is my life not worth it? Does he think that it's not worth it?
I don't ever want to have to play another tape like that for my daughter and watch the reaction on her face.
Tough talk at a meeting devoted to the public's relationship with Seattle police.
I feel like this video has set us back in the work that we've done in healing.
Those reactions directed at Seattle's cops in person.
I can tell you that we're all disappointed. We're all disappointed in the comments.
Janavi Kandula was hit and killed by an SPD officer earlier this year. A life honored by candles before this meeting even started.
We can have a few minutes of silence for Janavi.
Then came calls for accountability and action by those who knew Janavi's family.
Justice be served. This is all we asked for. That's the only way her mother would find some peace.
Janavi was 23 when she died. To date, the officer who hit and killed her hasn't faced any charges. All while the officer heard on this video is still on the force.
President Joe Biden is sending a clear message about how important the issue of gun violence is to his administration. He unveiled a new White House Office of Gun Safety. The new department will be headed by Vice President Kamala Harris. Biden says her roles as a prosecutor, an attorney general, and a United States senator put her on the front lines of the gun debate. During the announcement, the president pointed out efforts his administration has taken to reduce gun violence, including signing the Safer Communities Act law, which he calls the most significant gun safety law in almost 30 years. 4 News Now will be right back.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app.
For over 65 years, McVeigh Brothers has been on the cutting edge of the newest technologically advanced products sold. We're now offering triple pane windows, custom colored windows of your choice, and amazing mini blinds between the glass that will last a lifetime.
You need auto parts? Don't waste time. Rock Auto has all you need on one screen. Compare brands, see customer favorites, ask a friend for advice. Online shopping done right.
All the parts your car will ever need, Rock Auto.
The road can be a crazy place. Uh-oh! That's why Les Schwab Tires fixes brakes, steering, and more. And those guys don't. Keep driving. I'm just glad Les Schwab puts my safety first, so I can backseat drive with confidence.
During our fall tire sale, save up to $250 on a set of 4 select tires. Les Schwab Tires, doing the right thing since 1952.
Back by popular demand. When you shop Furniture Row, you pay what we pay. That's right. For a limited time, our employee pricing is available to everyone. Get 15% off any single item when you spend $9.99 or more. That means you can save big on that perfect sofa, dining table, bed, or Denver Mattress brand mattress.
Our discount is your discount.
Plus, furnish your entire home with 4 years no-interest financing. But hurry, employee pricing at Furniture Row ends soon.
You didn't choose cat allergies. You didn't choose your hairline, hot flashes, the flu, or that thing when your knee just gives out for no reason. You didn't choose your bad back, or this, or that. You didn't choose depression, melanoma, or lactose intolerance. But with Kaiser Permanente, you can choose your doctor who works with other best-in-class specialists to care for all that is you.
Duchenne muscular dystrophy robs young men of their ability to walk. Then it takes their lives. But you can step up on their behalf. Join football coaches for Coach to Cure MD. Help us find a cure and save these boys.
ABC's World News Tonight at 4 News Now, when the local story is national news.
When national stories hit home. Watch ABC World News Tonight at 5:30.
And 4 News Now at 6. That's what we mean when we say expect more.
4 News Now is brought to you by Valley Fest.
Around the nation tonight, 8 million Americans under tropical storm warnings Saturday as Tropical Storm Ophelia and its remnants made its way along the mid-Atlantic coast. The storm making landfall in North Carolina, but its effects are being felt all the way up to Delmarva Peninsula. By Sunday, Ophelia is forecast to bring heavy rains and strong winds as far north as New England. Here's ABC's Ike Ejochi with the latest.
Ophelia making landfall in Emerald Isle, North Carolina Saturday morning as a strong tropical storm with winds of 70 miles per hour.
This
made landfall. You can see that area of circulation right over Emerald Isle in North Carolina with winds just shy of a Cat 1 hurricane there. So we're looking at the intensity path and what it does in the next couple of days. Notice how it could remain as a tropical storm as it drives just south of Richmond, Virginia, Sunday morning.
Dangerous storm surge impacting North Carolina, Virginia, and Maryland. Swells from Ophelia triggering life-threatening surf and rip current conditions. The Coast Guard rescuing 5 people, including 3 children, from a catamaran off the coast of North Carolina during the storm. In Wrightsville Beach, North Carolina, strong winds and big waves slamming the coast. ABC's Victor Okendo is there.
Here in Wrightsville Beach, strong winds kicking up that surf. The rain, it has just been relentless, and now some 8 million Americans are under tropical storm warning.
The storm bringing with it concerns over possible tornadoes. Ophelia knocking out power to tens of thousands of customers as of Saturday afternoon. The storm now headed to the northeast, from Philadelphia to New York to Boston. Rain is in the forecast through the weekend. In Wildwood, New Jersey, portions of the annual Irish Fall Festival have been moved indoors as Ophelia approaches.
We'll get back out here Sunday if we can. We're going to party hard.
But the Fall Festival in Margate has been canceled. Organizers saying putting up tents, stages, and inflatables are just too risky amid the severe weather. Ike Ajachi, ABC News, Washington.
It may have been pouring rain with New York City feeling the effects of Tropical Storm Ophelia, but that didn't stop thousands of people from heading to Central Park for the Global Citizen Festival. The annual music festival brings musicians and artists, activists, and others together for one common cause: ending extreme poverty. ABC's Safan Kim has more from Central Park.
For tens of thousands of spectators, there couldn't have been worse weather for a concert in Central Park, but there couldn't have been a better cause to brave the conditions for.
I'm really excited. I'm shaking, actually.
Some of the world's brightest stars are taking the stage tonight for this year's Global Citizen Charity Show, with fans willing to get soaking, drenching wet for hours.
I'm only this young once, so gaining fun experiences like this is honestly really worth it, and it was free.
We're super excited to have this opportunity to see Miss Lauryn Hill because we've waited so long to see her.
Dozens of musical artists and celebrities are turning out to end extreme poverty, promote gender equality, and combat climate change. There was Bill Nye giving what else? A science lesson. And Rachel Brosnahan from the marvelous Mrs. Maisel, singer-songwriter Conan Gray, actress Natasha Lyonne, and the hottest artist in Brazil right now, Anita.
I'm from Brazil, and when the rain is there, we just jump with the rain, use the rain to make more of a mess in a good way. So I think we're gonna do that today.
And as you heard, this concert is free. You can't pay your way in. They had to earn their way in by doing good deeds.
We need more and more young people to step up and be the voices to champion these issues. So many artists this year are so young, and they're bringing their young fans to be part of the movement.
Safan Kim, ABC News, New York.
Stream 4 News now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app.
The fresh timer starts the minute a tomato gets picked. That's why at Fred Meyer, we shorten the time from harvest to home. So no matter how you shop, you'll have more time to enjoy your fresh produce. Fred Meyer, fresh for everyone.
What you're seeing today is a successful eye surgery. And this, the dedicated hours of virtual training that made it happen. Academic advancements are being achieved every day through collaborative hands-on learning. Upskilling careers, now made possible through immersive environments. These are the ways the metaverse is being used today.
This season, fall into Coeur d'Alene. Fall is a great time to visit Coeur d'Alene. With awesome weather, fall color cruises, exciting events, a variety of food, beer, and wine selections, and amazing accommodations. It's the perfect time to stay and play in CDA. Visit cdafall.com for more information.
If you're actually trying to recover and you want to get better, it's just one step at a time. You put one foot in front of the other, and you'll find that each day it'll get a little bit better and a little bit better and a little bit better. And then next thing you know, you're not even thinking about it. You're thinking about the future, not the past. I can tell you it's worth it. It's hard, but it's worth it. Just one step in front of the other. It's going to get better. It just takes time.
650 degrees for 20 minutes. What about 700 degrees for 10 minutes? Genius!
Keep kids out of trouble after school. Get the America's Promise Plate at your DMV. Proceeds go to at-risk youth programs in your county. It's a simple way you can make a difference.
At Fred Meyer, everyone wins when it comes to savings because you get the same great prices, deals, and rewards on pickup or delivery as you do in store. So no matter how you shop, everyone saves big. Fred Meyer, fresh for everyone.
4 News Now is brought to you by River Ridge and Peters Hardware.
This weekend, NASA's OSIRIS-REx spacecraft will be taking a lap around the Earth on Sunday, and if everything goes according to plan, it will drop a capsule containing soil samples from an asteroid. ABC's Gio Benitez has what you need to know about NASA's OSIRIS-REx mission back to Earth.
They were the images that stunned the nation and the world. A spaceship landing on a moving asteroid, speeding through space at 62,000 miles per hour. OSIRIS-REx landing on the asteroid Bennu with extreme precision. Now this morning, 7 years later, OSIRIS-REx is just 24 hours away from returning to Earth's atmosphere to drop off a package, and the mission is just as intense.
It takes a very delicate, very steady hands, and all of this, that also adds an added level of difficulty to be able to handle these small precious particles, study them, prepare them for lots of different ways scientists around the world want to study them.
You see, OSIRIS-REx didn't just land on Bennu, it picked up a piece of the asteroid.
This sample is so important because it's really going to give us a new insight into understanding how our solar system formed and the building blocks of life that may have been contributed to the planets on Earth, as well as if we have life elsewhere in our solar system.
OSIRIS-REx has already clocked 4.4 billion miles, and when it reaches Earth's orbit tomorrow morning, it will release its cargo over Dugway Proving Grounds in Utah. In fact, if the skies are clear, anyone in Salt Lake City may be able to see it happen at exactly 4:41 a.m. Mountain Time. And if it's successful, this little spacecraft that could, OSIRIS-REx, goes right back into deep space for its next mission to collect a sample from another Earth asteroid, Apophis.
There are hundreds of scientists around the world who are super excited to be able to study these samples, to answer new scientific questions that we haven't been able to answer with the samples that we have on Earth right now.
That is amazing. That is super exciting. That mission is the first asteroid sample to not be contaminated by our atmosphere. KXLY spoke with NASA planetary scientist Noah Petro, who said it could help us unlock some of the secrets of the solar system. And we even asked what happens if something hitched a ride with the sample.
We don't expect there to be anything remotely biologic in these samples, but we do have, we want to protect these samples from contamination from Earth.
You can watch that full interview with our Rob King on KXLY Plus or KXLY.com. Well, America is in need of some blue-collar jobs, and a grant at Lakeland High School aims at preparing kids for a job right out of high school. The district received a $180,000 grant to extend their shop and to teach more kids how to weld. Inside the classroom, 4 News Now met with senior Cohen Tunnell. He says when he graduates next spring, he will be looking for a job.
I'm pretty excited about it, to be able to get a certificate right out of high school and not have to go to a college or anything.
He says this opportunity is important, especially for students who don't think college is an option. He's seen many students thrive after this class. Pettit says the school will have new booths by March in 2024. Still to come here on 4 News Now, the Washington State Cougs pulled off a huge win over the Oregon State Beavers. Our Julian Minensone joins us again live from Pullman tonight and has what Coach Dickert has to say on his team's overall performance. And the woman suing Google, why she believes the company is responsible for her husband's death.
And all the cloud cover that's moved in has kept us from cooling off tonight. Temperatures only in the mid-60s, and you better get used to temperatures like these because you know what? It's pretty close to what our high is going to end up being tomorrow. Some cool fall-like weather and eventually even some much-needed rain in your first alert forecast coming up.
Download the 4 News Now app today.
Our beautiful courses welcome you. Downriver, Esmeralda, Indian Canyon, and Qualchin. It's your time to enjoy the game. There are no bad golf days. Book your tee time online at SpokaneGolf.org.
Dear 2030, we look forward to seeing you. After our 160-point quality assurance inspection, we'll be Toyota certified used vehicles with 7-year, 100,000-mile limited powertrain warranties. Not to honk our own horns, but the best new cars make the best used cars. Yours, Toyota.
Get 5.49% APR for up to 60 months on your favorite Toyota certified used models. Find yours at toyotacertified.com. Toyota, let's go places.
It's an end-of-year September yard sale for 4 days only at Northwest Fence in the Spokane Valley, where you can get the biggest savings as Northwest Fence cleans up the yard and sells off all overstocked and leftover materials from summer jobs at deep discounts. So you can finish or repair those summer projects at closeout prices going into the winter. It's the one sale our regular customers wait all year for this Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at Northwest Fence.
Some days, it can all feel overwhelming. The stress of relationships, finances, work, school, technology, change, and politics can seem inescapable. It all makes parenting that much harder. None of us are perfect parents. We all struggle, and we all need help sometimes. That's why we're here. If you need help, or you just need someone to talk to, call the Help Now line or visit IdahoFamilySupport.org.
Your whole health is more than what you find at the doctor's office, because it's all around you. The food you eat, what makes you happy, and what keeps you up at night. The place you call home. It's why we created a health insurance company that considers so much more. WellPoint, your whole health is our whole point.
Our beautiful courses welcome you. Downriver, Esmeralda, Indian Canyon, and Qualchin. It's your time to enjoy the game. There are no bad golf days. Book your tee time online at SpokaneGolf.org.
Live from downtown Spokane, this is 4 News Now, Special Edition.
Thanks for staying with us on this special edition of 4 News Now. We'll start here. The Washington State Cougars took on the Oregon State Beavers this afternoon in a top 25 matchup. Both teams with a lot to prove tonight. And the Cougs, they pulled off another impressive win in front of a great home crowd. Our Julian Minnesone joins us live from Pullman. And Julian, would you say that this might be the Cougs' most important win of the season yet?
Well, Jordan, absolutely. It's the start of Pac-12 play, their last run at a Pac-12 championship in the current conference standing. So to start off with a win is huge, and also they have a bye week coming up, so it allows the team to rest, get some relaxation before a tough stretch where you got to go to UCLA on the road. But it's not just that they won, it's how they won. I thought that Oregon State and Washington State were going to come out on the field singing Kumbaya, holding hands, and they did everything but, as both teams are in the same boat when it comes to conference realignment. But once the game started, it was anything but friendly. Cameron Ward, 404 yards in the air, had 4 touchdowns, 3 of them to Josh Kelly, and his head coach Jake Dickert had nothing but high praise for him and the rest of the Cougars as they get this big win.
And our guys went out there and executed and made just enough, one more play than they did to win the game. And I thought that's what you saw out there. I thought Cam was phenomenal. I thought offensively we kept the gas down the whole game, and I think Cam deserves to be mentioned with the best quarterbacks in the country, period. I think he continues to show that, and I think nationally we undervalue him and what he's doing. And defensively, it was just enough. It's never pretty. And these are one of those games that can really springboard your program to new places. Our team really believes in what we have here, and I'm just really proud of our guys.
And there was a lot of celebration this weekend. You had Washington State and Oregon State, 2 teams that have been in lockstep throughout conference realignment. They were ranked for the first time going head-to-head, at least, ever. And then you had a home game here on a national stage and a sellout. in Pullman, Washington. So a huge game all around for celebration for both teams. Someone had to win, someone had to lose. But now that the game is over, reality sets in that both these teams' futures remain uncertain. Washington State and Oregon State leadership hope to have that resolved here in the next few weeks when it comes to finding a new conference home. But as of now, they don't have one. So to have a lasting moment together in the Pac-12 this weekend was huge. Washington State winning, of course, like I mentioned, was big. And I think the sentiment from a lot of Cougar and Beaver fans alike has been that conference realignment is a virus and a disease that has left these schools destroyed looking for answers. But if today proved anything, it's that Pullman is immune. We're going to have much more from the Cougars and Beavers tomorrow right here on 4 News Now. But for now, reporting live in Pullman, Julian Minensone, 4 News Now Sports.
Julian, we are looking forward to it. Thanks so much for that. And the boys in gray, they weren't the only ones with a big game on their hands today. 8 miles to the east, the Vandals were gearing up for a top 10 matchup for their home opener, and it would not disappoint. The Kibbie Dome was rocking today. The Vandals welcomed in the 4th-ranked Hornets from Sacramento State, kicking off Big Sky play in what would be an electric home opener. This was a heavyweight matchup between two prolific offenses. Early on, Caden Bennett rolls out to the right, connects with Devin Gandy in airtight coverage, letting the Vandals know early, hey, we're number 4 for a reason. They came here to play. The Vandals offense looked pretty sharp. There were some uncharacteristic moments that we haven't seen a lot in the Jason Eck era. McCoy steps up in the pocket, tries to take off and put the linebacker in the spin cycle, but the ball careens out of his hand and into Sacramento State's possession. The Hornets buzzing in the Kibbie Dome. Hey, again, they're number 4 for a reason. In the second half, though, the Vandals would get it done. How about some trickeration? A fly sweep reverse that's tossed back to McCoy, who airs it out deep to Teron Ivey Jr. The big man hangs on, waltzes into the end zone. Idaho would kick a go-ahead field goal to go up by 3 with 1 second to play, and then the nail in the coffin. Sacramento State tries to get a lateral chain going, but Idaho's all over it. They pick up the loose ball, and they put the exclamation point on an exciting home opening win. Idaho takes down number 4 Sacramento State in a gritty 36-27 win. Well, it might be time to bring out those raincoats and those umbrellas from your closet. We've been eyeing this all year. We're excited. Summer's finally gone. Meteorologist Matt Gray in studio tonight, tracking some rain, Matt.
Yeah, I am tracking a little bit of rain. It's always dry in the Kibbie Dome, though. Jordan extra happy after that big win. Hey, we're talking about some rain, but it's going to take a little while for it to get to most of you watching at home. And in fact, the radar has been lighting up all day in the Cascades and in western Washington and western Oregon, where they're well underway with this flip to fall. We, however, well, we're just seeing some radar echoes from the tops of high clouds, and that'll be the case again tomorrow. You might, if you walk outside, you hold your hand out, you stay out there for long enough, you might get a couple of drips of rain, but that's about it. So you can leave the raincoats at home, but definitely a light pants and long sleeves kind of day, as no 70s for most of us tomorrow. We'll start off pretty mild in the 50s under cloudy skies. We'll only push our way up into the 40s. You can see there are a few spots like Colville will get down to the 30s, but a lot of us pretty mild considering how this weather pattern is going to go. Now that rain, it's going to show up here eventually. I'll show you when. Coming up.
All right, Matt, thanks for that. The family of a North Carolina man who died driving over a collapsed bridge says he was following directions in Google Maps. His widow, now nearly a year later, suing Google for negligence, alleging that they are responsible for his death. According to the lawsuit, Paxson was driving through an unfamiliar neighborhood using Google Maps the night his SUV careened off of a dilapidated bridge and filled with water. His vehicle was discovered in the creek the following morning. The filing also claiming that the bridge is unmarked without barricades and had been falling apart for a decade. But Google's GPS service still instructed drivers to cross it.
I just want answers, and I want who's ever responsible, to be held accountable. And, we want to make sure that this doesn't happen to anyone else.
Google saying in a statement to ABC News, "We have the deepest sympathy for the Paxson family. Our goal is to provide accurate routing information in maps, and we are reviewing this lawsuit." As for the family, they are seeking damages, but no amount has been set at this point. The lawsuit also names several private property management companies, claiming that they are also responsible for the collapsed bridge and the adjoining land. Still ahead here tonight, we take a bird's eye view of one of the best places in the inland Northwest to view the fall colors in this week's Air for Adventure. You don't want to miss it. We'll be right back.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app.
Is it your day to water? Know if you are odd or even and be water wise this summer.
The doctor will see you now. But do they really? Do they see that crick in your neck? That ache in your heart? Will they see that funny little thing that wasn't there last year? The new bounce in your step? The way your retinal scan connects to your blood sugar? At Kaiser Permanente, all of us work together to care for all that is you.
Introducing Granite Stone Blue, the most durable ultra non-stick cookware at the most affordable price anywhere. They come with vented tempered glass lids and are 100% dishwasher and metal utensil safe. You can get the Granite Stone Blue 12-piece set for just 4 easy payments of $49.95. As a bonus, we'll include our stainless steel steamer and fry set. Plus, you'll get our Granite Stone Blue bakeware set, yours free. Plus, we'll ship your entire order free. That's an incredible 20-piece Granite Stone Blue set. Order now.
For over 65 years, McVeigh Brothers has been on the cutting edge of the newest technologically advanced products sold. We're now offering triple pane windows, custom colored windows of your choice, and amazing mini blinds between the glass that will last a lifetime.
Real ID requirements for travel go into effect on May 7th, 2025. When flying, you've got options. Now's the time to make sure you're covered. No judgment, we all procrastinate. But now you have time to get things done. Replacing that smoke detector battery, dusting off that treadmill, returning those 7 emails. It's time to take on those things you've been putting off and turn your to-do list into a checkmark party. If you're planning to fly after May 7th, 2025, you'll need one of these approved options. Time flies, and so should you. What are you waiting for?
He posts his thirst traps in a leather-bound album. His DMs have postage. He gets the early bird special anytime he wants. If you call him, he'll answer the phone. He doesn't have gray hair. He has wisdom highlights. Florida wants to retire and move to him. He's Gary.
And I'm your first Golden Bachelor.
It's your
4 News Now is brought to you by Adams Tractor.
Thanks for staying up with 4 News Now. We've got some good rain coming in over the next 5 days. Not nearly the 2 or 3 inches they're expecting on the other side of the mountains. But hey, it's September. You got to take what you can get. And you know what? The potential for a ½ inch, the potential for 3/4 of an inch in some parts of North Idaho. Shoot, the potential for a 1/4 inch or more in Spokane. I will take that every single time. Because remember, September, one of the drier months still than we have throughout the year here in the inland Northwest, believe it or not. Usually because we're waiting for storms like this one. And we're still going to be waiting just a couple more days for many of you watching at home as our rain chances stay pretty low through Monday for most of us, only about 20%. In the metro, though, Tuesday into Wednesday, that's prime time. We're going to be up into the 60% or more rain chances. And so that's when you should really make sure you got those raincoats and the rain boots sitting in the car ready to go and have the kids' raincoats ready too for heading back and forth from school. Here is early tomorrow morning. Chance for a couple of sprinkles here as this first kind of wave of clouds pushes in. I'm not expecting a lot out of this. It's certainly not going to make a big dent in the rain gauge, even if you do get a sprinkle. And then here is Sunday afternoon. Up in the mountains, in our northern mountains, northern Washington, the northern panhandle. Yeah, we'll see some showers, but as you can see, most of the action is on the other side of the Cascades. That will begin to change a little bit as we head into Sunday night. We'll start to see some, you can see these darker green colors, something a bit more substantial. First, moving into the Yakima and Tri-Cities region and eventually tracking up to the north as we get into early hours on Monday morning. And so for Monday morning, if you're watching us from Moses Lake, if you're watching us from Okanagan County, that's when you should start pulling out those raincoats and being ready to make sure you got the windshield wipers on and the headlights and everything else. Meanwhile, I expect most of Monday to stay fairly dry in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene. Like I showed you earlier with the rain chances, instead we're going to be waiting until Tuesday. Now, what about tomorrow? Tomorrow, mostly cloudy conditions. We're talking generally middle and upper 60s around the metro region, but there are some spots that will have a chance. Like I said, you head into Sunday evening, we'll have a chance for a few showers. Places like Vantage, Quincy could get a little bit of rain, and definitely as you work your way up towards Snoqualmie Pass on I-90, you'll run into rain the further west you go as you get your way up into the mountains. Overall, temperatures definitely feeling very fall-like. We'll even see a little bit of fog in the morning around the Met-Howe Valley. But yeah, lots of 50s, lots of 60s. Really such a big change from where we were talking about 80s and fire danger here in this program just a week ago. And yeah, one or two little showers may pull their way out of the mountains. Certainly around Priest Lake, I would look for a couple of showers. Those higher elevation zones, you will have a better rain chance than some of those lower elevation locations. And finally, along the Palouse, a nice day, cloudy skies, a little dreary with those mid-60s with 70s in the LC Valley. Now, if you think that this is cool and fall-like, well, you just kind of look behind me here. You'll see what's going on. We continue to just keep getting cooler and cooler and cooler and cooler as this week goes on, and we continue to have a chance of rain. Not quite as much as we'll see Tuesday and Wednesday, but man, it is really going to feel like fall. In fact, very late October-ish weather by the time we get to next Thursday and next Friday. 4 News Now, we'll be right back.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app.
With every load secured, every cigarette butt that doesn't go out the window, every fast food bag that arrives at its proper destination, and every time we politely say, hey, there's a better place for that, Washington gets a little cleaner, a little safer, a little more breathtaking. Because small choices add up to a home we can all be proud of. We keep Washington litter-free.
Dear road rivals, you may have 4 wheels, headlights, and a similar build, but our resemblance ends right there. You see, the Camry's been named best-selling car in America. But cheer up, wannabe twinsies. If you try harder, maybe you can catch up. Later, Toyota.
Every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care, our no-cost maintenance plan with roadside assistance. Visit your local Toyota dealer to learn more. Reserve yours at Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
Creating healthy meals is hard work, chopping and grating. Just think of all the time it's taking. What you need is NutriSlicer, the super easy way to make nutritious meals every day. Just lock NutriSlicer to your counter to slice, chop, and grate with total control. NutriSlicer makes family-sized chopped salads in no time. Finally, grate cauliflower, your favorite low-fat cheese, and veggies. You can get the complete NutriSlicer system for just $19.99. Order today and we'll even ship your entire order free. You get all this at incredible value. Order now.
Back by popular demand. When you shop Furniture Row, you pay what we pay. That's right. For a limited time, our employee pricing is available to everyone. Get 15% off any single item when you spend $9.99 or more. That means you can save big on that perfect sofa, dining table, bed, or Denver Mattress brand mattress.
Our discount is your discount.
Plus, furnish your entire home with 4 years no-interest financing. But hurry, employee pricing at Furniture Row ends soon.
It's an end-of-year September yard sale for 4 days only at Northwest Fence in the Spokane Valley, where you can get the biggest savings as Northwest Fence cleans up the yard and sells off all overstocked and leftover materials from summer jobs at deep discounts. So you can finish or repair those summer projects at closeout prices going into the winter. It's the one sale our regular customers wait all year for this Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday at Northwest Fence.
4 News Now is brought to you by P1FCU.
In honor of fall and this week's Air 4 Adventure, we are soaring above one of the best places to take in the fall colors once those leaves begin to change. Let's go for a ride over Corbin Park in North Spokane.
Fall is the time. It's a beautiful city. Hey, it's a great place to live.
Here we are, it's October in beautiful Corbin Park. It is absolutely gorgeous here in the autumn. We have so many varieties of trees and as many leaves as you'd want to rake.
There's a lot of raking. I was raking yesterday and today, and I won't be able to get them all up, but we'll get most of them up. This is my third day out here, but the more you come out, the less work it'll be every time. But,
because the worst thing to happen is if it rains or snows on top of it, then it's really hard to clean up.
You want to get out on a day like today and get them picked up if you can.
It used to be a racetrack in the 1800s, and then county fair was here. And then they started building in 1898.
The park gets well used.
Well used. Lots of kids playing in the park. There's tennis.
People do. They run around it and walking. Lots of dogs. Well, this one's a sycamore.
And we call that one the Dr. Seuss tree because the little seed pods stay on it in the winter. So it's really cool looking.
You know, you get beautiful pinks and yellows, and then they change color again and go to more of a red color, and just beautiful all around the park. It's just a beautiful place to live. We love it here.
Download the 4 News Now app today.
Spicy chicken McNuggets, breaded in tempura and made with cayenne, are just the right amount of fire emoji, chili emoji, grinning face with sweat emoji, and wouldn't it be double fire emoji if they came back? Spicy chicken McNuggets, they're back. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Duchenne muscular dystrophy robs young men of their ability to walk. Then it takes their lives. But you can step up on their behalf. Join football coaches for Coach to Cure MD. Help us find a cure and save these boys.
The road can be a crazy place. Uh-oh! That's why Les Schwab Tires fixes brakes, steering, and more. And those guys don't. Keep driving. I'm just glad Les Schwab puts my safety first, so I can backseat drive with confidence.
During our fall tire sales, save up to $250 on a set of 4 select tires. Les Schwab Tires, doing the right thing since 1952.
It's time to gear up for fall with Pape Machinery. With our limited time cash discounts, you can get a new John Deere 3025E for only $23,500. Add any of our hundreds of implement offerings and make quick work of your upcoming projects. Don't wait. Contact your local Pape Machinery Ag and Turf store today. Inventory at this price won't last long. Pape keeps you moving.
4 News Now wants to take you inside the walls of Sacred Heart Children's Hospital to meet brave children and their caregivers. Miracle Mondays, brought to you by your locally owned Inland Northwest Ace dealers.
What do you do when your employee gets hurt on the job? Here's a story about Jay. He got hurt at work and couldn't perform his normal duties. That's rough, but there's good news. You see, Jay works for TISA, and TISA wants to do right by her employee. She knows all about L&I's Stay at Work program, so TISA gets to keep a valuable employee like Jay on the payroll doing a light-duty job while he heals. And TISA gets reimbursed half of Jay's wages, up to $10,000. Now, that's what we call a win-win. Learn more at lni.wa.gov/stay at work.
If something's missing in your morning without a McDonald's breakfast, then try a new bagel sandwich with fluffy egg, melty cheese, and your choice of a steak patty with grilled onion or bacon or sausage. Well, those will fill the void deliciously. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Well, you know it's fall when you start to see those highs in the 60s, and you know it's getting serious when we're talking highs in the 50s. It always shocks me, and maybe it's just because I'm from Florida, but it always shocks me how fast this transition goes sometimes, where you'll be chugging along and you'll have some 80s that'll pop up every now and then, and all of a sudden, it's 50s.
Bam.
It's winter.
Sharp turn.
Here comes the snow in the mountains. It gets me every single year.
It's so jarring almost, because I was still getting sunburns like 2 weeks ago, all of a sudden. Now it's raining again, Matt. We did it.
We did it. We're here.
Football weather.
Happy fall, everybody.
See breaking news in your area or have a story idea? Contact 4 News Now.